Hello there. Well, it's finally happening. I am tackling the tier list. So, what we're going to go through today is my opinions, just my opinions on what are, for me, the best for bounty hunting, or my tier list around bounty hunting, and this is aimed solely at beginners. So I know that some seasoned players will have looked at this list and gone, he's high.
We didn't know.
So, without further ado, I'm just going to do S tier first, because I know most people are going to skip to the S tier anyway, so let's just hit up S tier first, and then maybe you can sit back, relax, and stick around for my ramblings. You might enjoy it, who knows. Boring! So at the top, I have, in my opinion, the two Mac Daddies. I have got the F7 series, so this is just pretty much the entire F7 line, because you can really chop and change them, and they're really all the same sort of ships, apart from maybe the stealth variant's a bit different. And then the Sabre. Both of these ships have great HP pools, they are solid. They both have great DPS, great maneuverability, and for beginners, it's a really good mix. They're a really great ship to start bounty hunting with. They're what I started bounty hunting with. The F7 A I got from the Pyro event, was it? Or something else, I can't remember. I used that religiously for PvP bounty hunting, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. We'll get into why it didn't in a little bit. So tips for using these, because these are medium fighters. Versus light fighters, you can struggle a little bit if you're a beginner. Get used to strafing backwards, so holding that S key if you're on mouse and keyboard, or pulling backwards on your throttle if you're on horse ass or hot ass. This will help you keep your nose on target. Now, a light fighter, normally, I'm not talking the ones that are absolutely cracked. I'm not talking about your Avenger ones or Virgils that you fired against here, but most people in light fighters will then either try to use distance against you, or they will try to push you and get around you, as they will have great maneuverability. If they try to push you and get around you, just keep pulling backwards. You will be able to keep them in front of you, unless something really does go wrong. If they do use distance, that's the time to press W or push forward on your throttle. Push them, get in their face. Until they start pushing you back, then just get back into strafing backwards. I'm not saying this is a perfect science, but rinse and repeat that and you should have some success. Obviously, if you come up against a well-drilled light fighter pilot, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. So now we'll get into A tier. Now A tier, I have got the Gladius, the Arrow, the Alpha Wolf, and the Wolf. In my opinion, Gladius is the best light fighter for you to go to if you're going to get into using light fighters. It has really good nose control. The Arrow is a really strong light fighter at the minute in 4.5, arguably the strongest. But for me, it has a higher skill ceiling, as well as the Wolf series. I will get to them. The Arrow has a very nimble nose, so the Arrow can feel to new pilots very twitchy, very zippy. If you do feel like that is the case, I would urge you to try the Gladius. The Gladius is really, it's just a little bit more forgiving. I found a lot more success with the Gladius in my early days, and then I moved on to the Arrow once I felt like I had a bit more of a handle on light fighter skill set. I'm still not there yet, and it's a long process, but I'm getting there. These two, the Arrow and the Gladius, they both have great weapons loadouts. The Gladius sporting a nice 3 size 3, and the Arrow taking 2 size 3s, but 2 size 1s as well. At the minute in 4.5, it's probably worthwhile throwing ballistic Gatlins or repeaters, whichever one floats your boat a bit more on those hard points. Now the Wolf series, these are both great ships. Again, like the Arrow, I think they're even faster than the Arrow with their nose speed. They're really twitchy. This is why they're lower down than the Gladius and the Arrow, because again, for a beginner, really, if you put the time in and getting used to them, it will pay off in success in the long run. You are going to feel like you're too squishy to start with, and your nose moves too quick. Probably both, definitely one or the other. Do just take the time to learn and understand the light fighter mechanics. It does take time to get used to, it really does. But once you get your head around it, and once you start to feel a bit more at home with it, you'll struggle to go back to medium fighters, I promise. As Avenger 1 says, you owe the game 10,000 deaths before you start to get good. Before you start to feel like the game is clicking, before you start to understand the mechanics fully. I'm at around 4,000 or 5,000, I think, so I'll let you know. Once I hit 10k, I'll let you know if I've started to really have it click yet. Okay then, the big one, B tier.
And every single person who lives here is mid.
To start us off, we've got the Buccaneer and the Avenger. These are speed demons. These are really quick. They're interceptor tuned, so they will out of nav mode. You will be hitting 600 to 610 meters a second when you're fully boosted. They're very quick ships. You really do dictate the fight with your speed using these. My pro tip for both of these, it's kind of why they're in B tier. Don't try to use turn times to win the fight, because you just don't have that luxury. You need to use your speed. There's a finesse to it. It's a finesse I've really not got down yet. It's tough. It's a lot of drifting around. It's a lot of looking for the moments. It's a lot of looking for the opportunities. Interceptors are better served in team fights rather than one-on-ones, so for a one-on-one I probably wouldn't take an interceptor at all. That's why the A tiers, none of them are really interceptor tuned. Some of them, the arrow's quite quick, but I digress. That's why they're in B tier. Then we've got the Talon. The Talon is basically an alien version of the Gladius. It's got a slightly bigger profile, so it's like as a ship itself, it's slightly bigger in size. Probably quite a bit bigger in size, to be honest with you. This obviously in turn makes you a bigger target, so for that reason alone, really I'm putting it in B tier. But I know there will be people that look at the Talon and say, that's my boy, that's A tier, and I would not hold that against you. For a beginner, striking that balance between having a small profile and effective firepower is quite important. The Talon just misses out for me. Okay, then the Anvil Hawk. This is basically a dire F7 series ship. Now, I know there will be people saying, mate, the Hawk is A tier even for a beginner. Stay with me. The only reason I'm putting it in B tier is because to get the most out of the ship, you need to learn the EMP mechanic that it brings to the table. It's a bit of a pain in the backside to get used to, but once you've got it down, the Hawk essentially then goes up to A tier. The only thing to bear in mind if you're going to get used to this EMP mechanic, you will hurt your friends at some point. If you're flying with a wingman, you are going to EMP them as well at some point. So yeah, once you get used to the EMP, it does become A tier. You could argue S as well. You could argue S tier, but for beginners, sorry, it stays in B. So the Santok Yai, I've just said the Anvil Hawk's the Dire F7. The Santok Yai is the alien Aegis Saber, kinda. It's B tier in a fight. If you take damage to your wings will like pop off the mounts, and you'll then lose things like maneuverability or even weapons like missiles. For that reason, it's just got to go into B, because if you start losing those components in a fight as a beginner, it's just going to spiral out of control for you, figuratively and literally. Okay, the 325A. Don't know why I said A like that. This is quite similar to the Book and the Avenger, but when I've used it, I really don't enjoy the way the nose points. It's like really lazy. It's just not as good as the Book or the Avenger. It's still very fast. It's got a really big profile though. It's so similar to the Talon, you do stand out a bit. I think it's even bigger than the Avenger, which is mental because the Avenger can take cargo. It's got a coffee machine though, so you know, little cafetiere and bounty hunting. That deserves B tier. Yeah, then the Sabre Firebird and the Talon Shrike. Shrike? Whatever. These are great for missile spamming, but if you get pushed, they're not as good as their brother/sister ships that are higher up the list. They're good in team compositions, but for bounty hunting, probably not the best. Okay, now the Mantis and the Guardian QI. These are interdictor ships. Interdictor ships are great for bounty hunting because that means we can stop them. We can stop the target, that is, from using their quantum drive and nav mode and getting away from us. If we break this down, These are obviously great systems to have, the quantum dampeners and the quantum interdictor drives. There's a little bit of a learning curve to them, but it's not that intense. The Mantis has realistically very little firepower. It's great when you get the bounty and they can't get away from you, but it does, and obviously I know it's bounty hunting, but it really does force the fight. They're gonna have to push you, they're gonna have to take you on a lot more aggressively than they probably would because they can't get away. So you're probably going to be going into those fights undergunned. The Guardian QI doesn't suffer with that low firepower, but it does suffer from a slower turn time. Similar problem to the Santoki Eye, is if you start losing your wings as well, then you're really in trouble. I would recommend using both of these ships with like a team composition with a wingman. So it just helps cover you off. But I mean, if you're just getting into Star Citizen, you're just getting into bounty hunting, you're probably going to be on your own. Maybe avoid the Mantis and the QI to start with, but this is your verse just as much as mine. Then we get into the Cartual, the Patrick Star meets light fighters. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a great deal about this ship. I've used it a couple of times, didn't really like it. It's kind of like the Talon, but not. It's odd. I just thought BT was alright. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I don't see many people using this in the verse, so maybe that does speak for itself, but hell, who knows. Then we've got the Mustang Delta. It's alright. And CIG fixed the death roll problem. They're reasonably priced in the pledge store, and it's easy to get hold of in the persistent universe, so I think that they're a decent entry level into the light fighters. I mean, if you're going to get a light fighter, just get a light fighter, get the Gladius Arrow, or one of the Wolves. Just get a better light fighter. Okay then, let's get into C tier. So we'll probably get through these a little bit quicker now because there's not a lot to really boast or brag about or really be excited about. Boring. So, Guardian MX. This has great firepower. If you can keep them in front of you, you should win, but you're probably not going to because it's got really poor turn time and it's really slow. Similar to the F7 and the Sabre, like I said earlier, keep them in front of you, use your back strafe as much as you can. If they try to use distance on you, push them. Rinse and repeat those tactics, but boy, oh boy, you will struggle with this turn time. Guardian, base Guardian is exactly the same thing as the MX, just with less HP, so you'll die quicker. Inferno and the Ion, same as the Guardians. Same as the Guardians, cooler guns. Maybe I should put them, you know what? Yeah, you know, they go up for that. They've got cooler guns. Then we've got the Meteor. Oh, the Meteor, yikes. This is a glass cannon, and it's bespoke cannons. The velocity of the shells are slow as hell. I actually think I could walk quicker. I could walk quicker to the target than those shells. It's really only in C though, because I like the aesthetic of it. I think it looks quite cool. Yeah, it's just not good. The Eclipse has the same problem as the Sabre Firebird or the Talon Shrike, whatever, but it's got smaller weapons. It does have quite sizable torpedoes though, so if you're bounty hunting someone in a mid-sized ship that doesn't have PDCs, hell, go nuts. Especially if you've got a wingman with you. This would be a nice pick for someone else goes in, balls to the wall, and you just sit back and spam some size 5s, I think it's got. Really nice. And then we go D tier. This is probably going to be one of the controversial ones, but just remember, this is for beginners. This is just my opinion. No one's getting hurt. It's okay. We'll all be able to touch ourselves tonight. It's fine. The Blade. The Blade's going in D because this is based around beginners. Because for a beginner, it's bad. It has 2 bespoke weapons, and the weapons have different velocities. My opinion is just silly for a beginner to take that on. If you do take it on and get used to it though, hell yeah, because then realistically, once you're used to that, you can get the most out of this ship. It's a high B tier, low A tier choice. It's very good. It's got quick turn time, got good speed, really low profile. It's nice. The view out of the cockpit is a bit iffy, but you know, it's just one of those. You might enjoy it. If you do get good with it as a beginner, hell yeah, stick with it. The FA.
Look how they massacred my boy.
This is supposed to be one of the poster childs of this game, and it's so bad. It's the same, so again, we just go back, it's the same as the MX, same as the Guardian MX. It's got great firepower, but it's even slower at turning, and it could even be slower in a straight line. If someone came up to me in an F8 and I was in an Arrow, I'd honestly laugh. There is good news though, because the Stinger does exist. That's so shit. Anyway, that was my tier list for beginners getting into bounty hunting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you stayed till this point, hell, drop me a like and subscribe because I meant to say that because content creator. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and love you. Bye.